Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Daniel Rosal here, bringing you another video from Jerusalem as per the usual on this afternoon. As folks who subscribe to this YouTube channel may have seen, I spent my Thursday evening at the JCBF, which sounds like a self-help organization, but actually was the Jerusalem Craft Beer Festival. And I don't know if it's going to be a recurrent thing. I don't know if it's connected to the Jerusalem Beer Festival, which is like an annual thing that goes on here. But it was a craft beer fest at the first station in Jerusalem, and I must say I was very, very pleasantly surprised. I thought it was really good. I did not have very high expectations, but it was a lot of fun. I had a great time there. I'll put my link to the video in the description of this video. I made a little video clip where I interviewed some of the brewers, a brewery called Fass from the Golan, talking about their porter, which was very, very good. Superheroes, which had a whole costume gimmicky thing going on. Where's my coaster gone? I've lost my coaster. A sloth brewery. I'm obsessed with sloths, so I was super excited to see Shitnit, I think it's called. Shtinik, definitely not Shitnit. They're based in Tel Aviv. Watch the video anyway, you'll see all the different places, and I've put links in the description to the actual brewery. But I interviewed some guy called Max. He was from Canada, and Max said, well, he's just moved here a few weeks ago, and he said, you know, I don't think the Israeli craft beer scene is that good. Now, I have to disagree with Max on the first point. I do think that it's nascent, it's in its early stages, but I think we have a decent selection of craft beer here in Israel. And in Jerusalem, we're starting to get a few craft beer bars. There is Biratenu in the first station, Biratenu downtown. Glens have some craft on tap. And then just like more somewhere between microbrewery and big beer, if you want to call it that. So, brands like Shapira can be found throughout the city. So Max wasn't a fan of pale ales. I am not either so much a fan, but I do love IPAs, and I think we have some decent IPAs. So anyway, Max and I can disagree on that first point. But then he said something, and he was a guy from Canada that I totally agreed with. He said in Israel, we should have more ciders. It's a country full of fruit, and cider can be made not just from apples and pears. And by the way, I love perry/pear cider. There's a whole range of fruits that can be made into cider, and it's actually a very limited scene. So what I wanted to do in this video, recording as I am in May of 2022, I wanted to just show fellow cider fans what is out there currently. Because there are a few brands, but yeah, just to kind of show what the options are in the market. Some brands I think I've tried pretty much everything that there is currently, but just to kind of, for fellow cider fans, give a quick whistle-stop tour of the Israeli craft cider world. Now you will see stuff imported here like Strongbow, Magners, which is an Irish cider. It's called Bulmers in Ireland. That's available on tap somewhat widely here. In Jerusalem, you can get it in Hataglit, in Tel Aviv, in Molly Bloom's, and I'm sure in lots of other places too. So international cider, but the more kind of craft stuff, and specifically Israeli stuff, so it's a more limited selection. Now, for those who don't know Paneko yet, it's a terrific website. It's an Israeli website where you can order alcohol to your home. During the pandemic, many people became acquainted with Paneko and their service, but it's a very good website. And if you're looking for stuff that you can't find in your local liquor store, as the Americans call it, off license, as Irish people would call it, Paneko is a good source. So this is searching for cider, and I'll talk about HaMatsesa. It's a bit of a tongue twister in a second. This is really the best brand in my opinion, or the widest brand, and it's actually one of only two to the best of my knowledge. I may be missing ones, but there's also Busters. So firstly, I'm going to show you Busters. Now this Busters have a place, it's just outside. Buster is some dude from somewhere in the US who I've met a few times, and he got my wife into home brewing. He used to have, I think he might still have, a homebrew supply store, and he's a really, really cool guy, very enthusiastic about brewing, and he's developed his own line of cider called Busters Cider. Now they moved recently from, it used to be outside the Jerusalem Hills, now they moved to outside in Beit Shemesh, and I'm just going to go back to my Google map listing here. Oak and Aish, written in kind of Hebrew transliteration. I'll show you where this place is. This is where you can find Busters on tap. So it's like as you come into Beit Shemesh, It's just like off here. It's a little, no, they don't have it. Right by where Shapiro is actually brewed. So you can find it on tap there, Buster's Lemonade. And they have a range of different ciders. I did think they had a website, but I'm not able to locate it by looking for Buster's cider. Let me try in Hebrew. Buster's. That's not having success either. Oh no, I'm not spelling it right. Let's try again. Bus. This is the imperfect science of transliterating. Buster's cider. I'm still not finding a website. Maybe they don't have a website. They should totally have a website. But in any event, we can find it on here. So this is Buster's cider. It's a dry cider, and I'm pretty sure they have a few permutations, but this is 6.7% ABV. It's an apple cider, and they have that lemonade as well. So Buster's, they also have, I'm calling up on this Beer and Beyond website here, a Buster's spicy cider product, which is lower ABV, 4.8%, and it looks like it's flavored with cinnamon, which goes well usually with apples. I'm pretty sure this isn't their whole cider range, that there is an extra dry as well, and maybe even a sweet cider, but I'm not in the business of promoting Buster Cider or showing you their product line. So it's out there. You can find it in places, definitely this place outside Beit Shemesh. You'll find it on tap, and as you can see, you can buy it on the internet. Okay, HaMatsesa. And these guys do have a website. Yes, I am over 18. In fact, I'm in my 30s. HaMatsesa is HaMatsesa.com. I'll put the link in in the description for this video. This is really good stuff. This is cropping up more and more in places in Jerusalem. I have yet to see it on tap anywhere, which is a source of great disappointment to me. But let me show you what they have. Firstly, they have an online store. Cider-lovers alcoholim. Now these guys do both non-alcoholic ciders and alcoholic ciders. Unfortunately, it's kind of pricey, as you can see. It's definitely kind of pricey. They don't seem to sell it in like smaller quantities or in cans or 500 mils. Now that might be heresy to cider lovers to suggest they sell it in cans. But if you look at this, I'll just show you some of their products on their site. Argaz cider. Argaz in Hebrew means in Ireland we'd call it a slab, but the translation is a crate usually. I think Argaz cider 7%. So this is their Agas Yavesh dry pear cider or perry, and you get 24 bottles of that perry for 386 shekels. So if you really like their stuff, you can buy this. I presume delivery is going to be free, maybe not. But so you'll find this kind of scattered throughout Jerusalem. And let me just show you their range before I quit this. Hasipuro shalano. Efo shotim means in Hebrew. I'm just doing. They don't have an English version, so I'm just doing my best to translate. Oh, look at this. That's really cool. They've put together a Google map with all the locations where they're available for sale. It would be helpful if they had it. Hasilo. It would be helpful if they had it where you can get it on tap. Cafe Calo. Yes, Calo does stock HaMatsesa, and this place also has it. So that's cool. So if you're looking for it to buy it, you can go onto their site. They have a nice little Google map. Now, in terms of the product range, which is what I'm trying to find out here. Okay, so they do both pear cider and apple cider in different sweetnesses. So this is cider tapuchim alcoholim. I'm trying to see 7% ABV. Chetzi Yavesh. This is their semi-dry cider. Cider-lovers alcoholim. They have their lineup here. If I go into maybe this one, I'll be able to see the individual products here. So this is going to require, here we go, the zoom feature. So, okay, we have dry pear cider, 7%. Semi-dry apple cider, 7%. Dry apple cider at 7%. And this is a little bit hard to read. Semi-dry, so there's semi-dry and dry in both pear and apple. To the best of my knowledge, I've tried every one of their ciders at this point, and they're all excellent. I personally like the extra dry pear cider the best. At 7%, it definitely does pack a punch on the ABV meter, so be careful about it, because cider is a kind of thing that can be so sweet you'll just knock them back, and the next thing you know, you've not only have you knocked back the cider, you have been knocked back by the cider. That was a joke that kind of fell flat. Anyway, guys, that is as far as I know, the extent of the Israeli craft cider scene. Given the fact that there's dozens of different craft beers here, you can see that there is a substantial lag. I am definitely going to try to homebrew my own perry at some point, but until then, this is what I found on the local market here. If you know of other craft cider brands, or you are an Israeli craft cider connoisseur and you want to send me craft cider, drop me a line. The email is in the about page. Thank you guys for watching as ever, and if you want to get more videos from me, please subscribe to this YouTube channel.